The world is full of fascinating countries, each with its own essence, history, and mysteries. But there are places that seem to be from another planet, and Namibia is one of them. In this corner of Africa, the imposing Namib Desert, the oldest in the world, stretches out with its red dunes that seem to touch the sky. Very close by, the Fish River Canyon presents a landscape that rivals the Grand Canyon itself. On the coast, the town of Lüderitz looks like a piece of Germany lost in Africa, with its colorful colonial houses in the middle of nowhere. But the most amazing thing is its people, the Himba, a community that has withstood the test of time, maintaining their ancient traditions, their unique way of life, and polygamy as part of their culture. And if you think there are only deserts here, wait until you discover its incredible tourist offerings, safaris, and wildlife. Namibia is a country that defies all logic. And today, we are going to explore it together for an unforgettable journey. Namibia, a country where the Red Desert meets the Atlantic Ocean, is a place of stunning contrasts. It borders Angola and Zambia to the north, Botswana to the east, South Africa to the south, and the vast Atlantic Ocean to the west. Imagine vast arid landscapes stretching as far as the eye can see, where reddish sand dunes, like the iconic Dune 45 of the Namib Desert, rise majestically under a scorching sun. This desert, the oldest in the world, has existed for at least 55 million years, creating an inhospitable yet fascinating environment where extreme temperatures and lack of water challenge both flora and fauna. Dune 45, named for its location at kilometer 45 of the road that crosses the Namib Desert Park, is one of the most photographed due to its perfectly curved shape and its intensely red sand, a result of the oxidation of iron present in the sand grains. The dunes change color throughout the day, from intense orange tones at sunrise to deep reds at sunset, offering an unparalleled natural spectacle. In the middle of the Namib Desert lies the amazing Spitzkoppe, a rock formation that dramatically rises from the desert floor, known as the Matterhorn of Namibia. This group of granite peaks, over 700 million years old, is a paradise for climbers and a sacred site for indigenous peoples due to its ancient rock engravings. But not everything is desert. Namibia also hosts Etosha National Park, one of the largest in Africa, known for its vast white salt pan visible from space. Etosha is a paradise for wildlife, where desert-adapted elephants, black rhinos, giraffes, zebras, and lions survive thanks to waterholes that remain even during dry seasons. These waterholes, both natural and artificial, are vital for the fauna during the dry season, and their presence creates concentrations of animals that allow for impressive sightings for visitors. The ecosystem of Etosha is dominated by a huge salt pan that reflects the sun like a mirror, creating a surreal landscape that stretches to the horizon. Another one of its natural treasures is the Fish River Canyon, the second largest canyon in the world, after the Grand Canyon in the United States. With its towering cliffs and deep gorges, the canyon offers stunning views and is a popular destination for hikers seeking extreme adventures in rugged and arid landscapes. The Skeleton Coast adds a touch of mystery, with the remains of shipwrecks and whale skeletons that tell stories of times long past. Its name comes from both the bone remains that once covered its beaches due to whaling and the skeletons of vessels trapped in its treacherous sandbanks. This inhospitable coast is famous for its dense sea fogs, which form when the cold air of the Atlantic Ocean meets the heat of the desert, creating a ghostly atmosphere that has challenged sailors for centuries. In the Namib Desert, near the southern border, lie the abandoned houses of Kolmanskop, a ghost town that was once a thriving diamond extraction center during the German colonial era. Today its buildings, half buried in sand, provide a surreal backdrop that attracts photographers and tourists from around the world. Not far away, the town of Lüderitz, with its German-style architecture, preserves a visible colonial legacy in its streets and buildings. Here, a notable percentage of the population is of white descent, a result of German colonization and its lasting influence in the region. Another stunning site is Sandwich Harbor, where the golden dunes of the Namib Desert meet directly with the Atlantic Ocean, creating a spectacular and unusual landscape. The interaction between the desert and the sea is unique, and the area is famous for its abundant birdlife and marine ecosystems. Diving into its history, Namibia has witnessed ancient civilizations, German colonization in the 19th century, and South African rule before achieving independence in 1990. During the German colonial period, Namibia was the scene of one of the first genocides of the 20th century, where thousands of Herero and Nama were killed in a brutal attempt at repression. This past has left deep scars on its cultural diversity, reflected in its more than 11 ethnic groups. Notable among them are the Oshiwambo, the largest group, the Herero, known for their Victorian-inspired clothing influenced by their former colonizers, and the Himba, a semi-nomadic tribe famous for their red-dyed skin, a symbol of beauty, status, and protection against the sun. The Himba keep their traditions alive by practicing polygamy and arranging marriages that strengthen ties between families. In their society, marriage is not just a union between two individuals, but an agreement between clans that ensures the continuity of the community. Himba women cover their skin and hair with a mixture of butter, aromatic resin, and iron oxide called otjais, which not only protects them from the sun and insects, but also symbolizes their spiritual connection to the red earth of Namibia. They live in houses made from a mixture of clay, cow dung, and wood, which keeps them cool during the day and warm at night. Their handmade clay kitchens allow them to cook using firewood and charcoal, preserving the culinary traditions of the tribe. Despite modernization in many parts of the world, the Himba have maintained their ancestral way of life. This is due to their strong attachment to traditions, their closed social structure, and their remote location in arid regions, which has limited contact with external influences. They survive in the desert by raising livestock, their main source of food and economic sustenance, and by collecting water from natural wells and underground reservoirs. Their deep knowledge of the environment allows them to adapt to extreme conditions, using traditional techniques to find essential resources. Namibia has established laws to protect its valuable biodiversity. In 1990, following its independence, the country implemented a constitution that was pioneering in including environmental protection as a fundamental principle. This legal provision has allowed for the creation of numerous conservation areas and nature reserves managed by both the government and local communities. Namibia's economy is based on the mining of diamonds, uranium, zinc, and copper, as well as tourism and fishing. Despite its abundant natural resources, economic inequality persists, highlighting the differences between life in cities and rural communities. Urban areas, such as Windhoek, the capital, offer more job, education, and service opportunities, while in the desert, subsistence relies on herding goats and cattle, collecting water from underground rivers, and traditional survival techniques passed down from generation to generation. The impact of climate change is felt more intensely here, exacerbating water scarcity and challenging the resilience of its inhabitants, who must adapt to increasingly extreme conditions. Tourism in Namibia is one of the main sources of income and is focused on ecotourism and adventure. Safaris in national parks, excursions to the Namib Desert, cultural visits to indigenous communities, and extreme sports like sandboarding and kayaking on the coast are some of the most popular experiences. Namibia has a well-developed tourism infrastructure, partly because English is the official language, which facilitates communication for international visitors. Although Namibia is a safe and well-prepared destination for tourism, traveling across the country can be challenging due to its vast distances and mostly unpaved roads. These roads, almost all dirt, are lined with fences on both sides to prevent wild animals from suddenly crossing the path, and it is common to see warning signs about the presence of wildlife on the road. However, these same features offer a unique opportunity to explore uncharted landscapes and immerse oneself in the wild nature. Although English is the official language of Namibia, the country is home to a rich linguistic diversity with over 30 languages spoken, including Oshiwambo, Nama, Herero, and Afrikaans. This linguistic variety does not hinder communication, as many people are multilingual, and English serves as a common bridge in education, commerce, and tourism. However, the beauty of Namibia is not limited to its geography or wildlife. Desert plants, such as the Welwitschia mirabilis, an endemic species that can live for over 1,000 years with just 2 giant leaves that grow throughout its life, survive by extracting moisture from the air and morning dew.